Meet Sarah. She's a college student with an idea for a hot new mobile app. But Sarah's not a programmer, so she will need help turning her idea into a reality. Meet Bill. Bill's an entrepreneur with a rapidly growing small business. He knows he can't do it alone anymore, so Bill needs resources to take his business to the next level. Meet Kelly. She's an inventor with a cool new product. Before taking it to market, Kelly needs to secure a patent, which is going to require funding. How to start a business in NEPA. How to grow a business in NEPA. How to protect your intellectual property. tecBRIDGE, Technology, Entrepreneurship, Collaboration. Now in its 12th year, the business plan competition, sponsored by tecBRIDGE, enters a new phase with BPC 2.0. New format, more resources, rapid feedback. Every year, the business plan competition awards over $100,000 in seed funding to technology-based startups in Northeast Pennsylvania. Entrepreneurs from all over NEPA have used this funding to start and grow dozens of businesses and create hundreds of jobs. This year's finalists come from a diverse pool of backgrounds, and the competition is as heated as ever. Let's meet the teams. Collegiate finalists. Step in It, Marywood University. TIC-Check, East Stroudsburg University. And M&S Biotics, Marywood University. Non-collegiate finalists. DARTDRONES, LLC. Scranton Cardiovascular Model. And Udea Health, LLC. The 12th annual business plan competition is made possible by the continuing support of our sponsors. Sanofi Pasteur and VaxServe have supported the business plan competition since its inception. Sanofi Pasteur and VaxServe take great pride in recognizing that one of VaxServe's prior general managers, Jaco Smit, along with Don Webster, had the vision and the tenacity to create and implement this initiative, which has resulted in the development of more than 20 technology-based companies in Northeast Pennsylvania. Congratulations to all of this year's participants and to those who have continued to serve as advocates and volunteers for this event year after year. As a leading producer of natural gas in Pennsylvania, CABOT Oil and Gas Corporation is dedicated to job creation and improving the quality of life throughout northeastern Pennsylvania. CABOT has invested over $2 billion in our region, including hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes and fees, over $20 million for road improvements, and $2.2 million to expand and improve healthcare in Susquehanna County. And recently, CABOT made the largest donation in the history of Lackawanna College, a $2.5 million endowment to support the School of Petroleum and Natural Gas, which helps train local residents for high-paying careers in the region's growing energy industry. CABOT Oil and Gas Corporation, clean energy, stronger communities. MVM Associates is an economic development consulting firm that specializes in helping companies identify, obtain, and sell tax credits in Pennsylvania. Founded in 1997, MVM has assisted hundreds of companies in securing and selling over $250 million in tax credits. Their specialties include Pennsylvania Keystone Innovation Zone tax credits, research and development tax credits, film and television production tax credits, and Enterprise Zone tax credits. MVM's tax credit sellers and buyers include some of the world's most recognizable company names, such as Disney, Apple, Paramount Pictures, Halliburton, IBM, Ford Motor Company, Sony, and many more. Locally, their work includes helping obtain and sell tax credits for dozens of the area's leading technology companies, as well as procuring and selling tax credits to help pay for renovations to several buildings in downtown Wilkes-Barre.
Our product is to help parents in tracking their children. Our product consists of two main parts: GPS part, which is connected to kids' shoes, and the other part is the smartphone application.
Our main competitor will be company sell a shoes embedded with a GPS tracker, but you can't remove this GPS. You have to buy these shoes, and the shoes mainly for the elder people who has Alzheimer. So we targeting a different segmentation group with younger generation. Another competitor is people who has like a watch or a bracer that attach to children, but this is easy to remove from the children. That's why we want something that's attached to the shoes that hard for the children to remove it. And the last competitors we have is a company has a GPS tracker through phones. So they need to track children while they have another phone. So mainly children doesn't have a phone.
We came up with this idea because of one of the worst experience I have been to. I'm a parent, I have 2 daughters. One of the worst experience I have been, I was watching my kids in one of the biggest hotel lobbies in Las Vegas. I'm just watching the kids. Just in a moment, I lost one of them. But it was the longest 15 minutes in my life. I don't want anyone to be in the same situation.
We as a group, we learned how to introduce our idea to the others because they are interested in the details of what we are making and how to make it though. So we have the idea, but we have to have the details in order to explain it to them. All the skills that we have learned, it's gonna help us in the future to ease the process of making business and how to deal with challenge and obstacles in business.
We're trying to launch the prototype within 6 months, and after that, within 3 months, we will do analytics and collect the data, how the product's working, and within the end of this year, we hope that we launch the product.
I just moved in here. I love this place. I plan to stay here. I plan to get our company here and help this community who was very friendly for us and who accept us either in the neighborhood I am in, either in the university, the professors, the colleagues. We found a welcoming feeling from everybody, and because that, we like that, we want to stay here.
tecCHECK is a biotech web startup that allows customers to test ticks for Lyme disease and other tick-borne diseases and determine their risk of contracting these diseases before the onset of symptoms.
Tick-borne disease is a number of different types of disease that one can acquire through the bite of an infected tick. Tick-borne disease can be passed along to people, it can be passed on to animals, pets, children, so pretty much any age group, age class is at risk for this.
Several years ago, my dad contracted Lyme disease when we were on a family hike in the Appalachian Mountains. And he really had a hard time with the symptoms. He couldn't get out of bed for a few weeks, and he didn't even realize he had Lyme disease for a couple of weeks until he went in and had a blood test. And that really made me realize that tick testing is an important service to be able to find out if you have a risk of contracting Lyme before symptoms actually occur. So the opportunity to bring this service to millions of people is what inspired tecCHECK.
The Northeast Wildlife DNA Laboratory is going to be testing ticks for tecCHECK, and the tick testing we are providing uses the polymerase chain reaction, which is a large DNA photocopier, to provide testing results that are 99.99% accurate. And this process allows us to determine whether or not the DNA of any of these tick-borne disease infectious organisms is present, and if it is, then we would be able to warn the client of the risk of infection, that it is greater.
So the way tecCHECK works is that if you find a tick on yourself, a loved one, or a pet, you can take that tick off and you can send it in to tecCHECK to have that tick tested and find out if that tick is a carrier of Lyme disease or any other of a host of tick-borne diseases. We will test the tick, keep you updated by text message and email as your test progresses, and then instantly send you your test results to your smartphone and your email, as well as sending a fax to your doctor of choice.
The prevalence of tick-borne disease is definitely on the increase. Of the ticks that we have tested this year, we have found a 3 times increase in the prevalence of Lyme disease based on last year's results. So tick-borne disease is definitely on the rise.
We're going to be launching tecCHECK.com shortly, so we all have our work cut out for us. I competed in the Greater Valley Business Plan competition a few years ago, and it was really a great experience that really helped me build a foundation for my business ideas. So when we heard about the new Business Plan 2.0 competition format, we were really excited to get on board with our new venture.
Our technology will track surgical instruments in an operating room in real time, reducing healthcare costs for hospitals, creating a more efficient operating room, allowing hospitals to allocate vital human resources, reducing the cost of litigation due to retained surgical instruments, creating jobs in northeastern Pennsylvania, but most importantly, saving lives every day.
So in its simplest terms, we're coupling two types of technologies together: RFID, radio frequency identification, and infrared technology. The radio frequency identification is going to allow for us to track surgical instruments in real time and have calibrated distances as how far they are from their starting position. In addition to that, we're going to have infrared technology producing a white against black contrast, so you could see in real time where these instruments are inside the operating room, adding a peace of mind to the surgeons and the nurses to perform more adequately at the task at hand, which is the patient.
We differ from our competition in our two technological components paired with our auto-synchronization process. That system creates for the most user-friendly, cost-effective, safe, efficient product on the market today.
I heard about the Business Plan Competition 2.0 while taking an independent study with my professor. In addition, we took second place in the tecBRIDGE competition, which just prepared us more for this moment.
We met with local surgeons, a nurse that operates one of the largest surgical suites in Philadelphia, and local business people to create the most effective product at the most cost-effective price possible.
10 months ago, I did not know if I'd be alive to pursue my dreams. Luckily, I had a successful kidney transplant, but because of this, I felt compelled to give the people around me the same second chance that I was afforded. In doing so, I'm putting medical school on hold to pursue a more impactful endeavor, such as this one.
After this competition, our ultimate goal is to retain the best and brightest talent in Northeast Pennsylvania. Growing up in this community, we now feel a sense of obligation to encourage other young entrepreneurs like us to make the same impact on the world the same way that we intend to.
DART Drones will provide consultation services, training and certification services for drone pilots, and also provide service and support for the life of the drone through the contract. We'll assist our customers with interfacing with the FAA to get their certifications to be able to employ their drones.
We're entering an industry that's at its infancy. We're entering a market that only has a few competitors and is going to grow exponentially over the next 20 years. Imagine 10 years ago when the internet was just coming around. This is where we are now with drones.
We were talking about this in the entrepreneurial class, how Jeff Bezos is going to use drones to deliver his products. I'm with the 109th Infantry that's based out of Scranton, and we have a couple of drones there. I also have been the operations officer, and I'm the executive officer right now, and we plan the employment of those drones. And we were trying to think about a way of linking what we do with those drones to a public and commercial application. And we thought about law enforcement and fire and rescue, that they would be perfect markets for us.
We at DART Drones have been having a lot of fun looking into this emerging industry. We bought a drone and have been flying it around the neighborhood, seeing different views of my house, really learning how to use the drones, and also why people need certification and training because we crashed.
DART Drones will be part of an emerging market with limited competition. We expect the market to be $82 billion in the next 10 to 20 years, and we'll be there at the beginning, learning the rules to be able to apply them and get our customers ready to apply that to the market. I'll say look to the sky and look for the label for DART Drones, because it'll be on that drone.
Our product is the Scranton cardiovascular model. This is essentially a computer-driven mechanical model of a cardiovascular system. It has a beating heart that can be controlled through the computer, and the heart pumps blood, or essentially in our case, water, through a replica of the cardiovascular system. The goal of the model is to simplify the learning of cardiovascular physiology. We see our target markets as everything from high schools to hands-on science museums to the clinical and research settings in cardiovascular physiology.
In my undergraduate studies as a biophysicist, I've experienced a variety of methods and educational tools for learning cardiovascular physiology. These have included computer simulations, using my peers and myself as subjects, and the Scranton cardiovascular model. Hands down, the Scranton cardiovascular model has been the most beneficial educational experience and additionally the most unique. It's been the most unique because it's extremely tactile. I can change one parameter with my hands and immediately see the consequences of that change on the screen.
In 2012, I was awarded by the American Physiological Society their Innovative Educator Award for the design and use of the model. In 2010, the university and I submitted a patent application for the cardiovascular model, and that is still in the works.
Heart disease is the #1 killer in the United States. A common procedure for people to go to the hospital is for diagnosing dysfunctional valves. We are actively developing dysfunctional valves to add to our Scranton cardiovascular model so we can help train clinicians in diagnosing these ailments.
Attending the boot camp that was provided by the organizers of the business plan competition really helped us organize our business plan and better understand the market. As a scientist, I didn't know much about bringing an idea to market, and so the presentations by the organizers really helped me to be able to understand how to place the product in the marketplace.
I plan on pursuing a graduate degree in biomedical engineering. My experience with the Scranton cardiovascular model has helped me understand the process of taking an idea and bringing it to fruition. It has also helped me understand the process I will be involved in when I'm making new medical devices in the future.
After about 6 months of planning, we were able to generate a simple prototype out of supplies around the laboratory and some equipment borrowed from my experimental system. Now, 10 years later, we are putting our final touches on the commercial prototype that's being manufactured by a local firm.
Udea Health has developed a mobile health platform that serves as a virtual social worker and community navigator to help vulnerable populations find the resources they need to live a healthier, more productive life. This solution empowers individuals and really addresses the barriers to care, which are traditionally lack of insurance, finance, language, know-how, and trust. And our method overcomes those barriers to give people the confidence they need to seek medical treatment at the most appropriate resource and location at the appropriate point in time. Our solution is very different than our competitors, typically who are database-driven companies. We recognize that probably the last thing the community needs is another database. What they need is a solution set that they can go to meet their specific set of community needs. And that's what we provide. It's not really about the technology. When somebody is thirsty and wants a drink of water, they don't want to have to think about how the faucet works. They just want to be able to go to the faucet and get a glass of water. And similarly, if a vulnerable individual who's already suffering and has a lot of hassles to get health or social services, the last thing they need is a difficult technology to do that for them. And what we try to do is simplify the navigation path, make those services immediately available, and remove those barriers to care. We were very fortunate to get a Small Business Innovative Research Grant with the U.S. Department of Agriculture to develop technology to address the problem of childhood obesity. The Phase 1 prototype allowed me to collaborate with a research partner at one of the nation's largest public health care systems, who pulled the platform in to address the needs of the Hispanic population to increase access to primary care. We piloted this as part of a Robert Wood Johnson Foundation grant, where the platform has been running live since November 2011. We've expanded into 2 other communities, including up here in the Poconos with PoconoHealth.org. Not only do we have a social enterprise that is meaningful to society, but We really got something here that I think can add a lot of economic value, both to our community where we're located, as well as to the communities that we serve. And it is that human-centered design process that we worked with and the engagement with our customers and our customers' populations that most excite me and make this an enjoyable endeavor.